Don't look back. I know you feel like you're losing track. I know your heart bleeds.
The constant SoulCalibur. So I think everyone's just sort of like eager for some, good old SoulCalibur action. We've got some regulars that have entered the tournament as well, and it's good to see sort of newish people kind of getting their feet wet with the online play as well. So I can't wait. We've got some great matches lined up, guys. Also, as we usually do, we've got the match arena as well. Make sure you donate to that. Try and get the prize as big as we can. If you want to put ! match arena in the chat, we'll send you the link and you can donate to the prize for free. But yes, I cannot wait to get into this tournament. It's good to have that bit of lull because I know people have been practicing using different characters. So I can't wait to see what unfolds today in terms of SoulCalibur. So yeah, I cannot wait, Daniel. How are you feeling? What matches are you looking forward to today?
Matt, we have an incredibly stacked bracket, and I'm looking forward to every single match that we have on stream right now. If you head over to the bracket, you'll be able to see which games we have on the stream queue. But once we get to our top 8, we are going to stream every single match, and I cannot wait for all of them. Specifically, though, we've got a few people here who I'm keeping a cheeky eye on. So, specifically somebody like Andy Roo, who's been picking up Grow recently and trying his absolute hardest to get it to his Zasalamel tournament level. So, if we get a chance to see him, that'll be really, really fun. We've got a couple of people here like Horseface and Taokaka, two very good friends who fight each other often. One's an Asta, one's a Tira/Hilda main. We're not sure which one she mains, but, we'll just go with a double main for now. We've got people like Chef and correct me if I pronounce this wrong, Epont, I'm not entirely sure. Two newcomers to the EU Calibur online tournament scene. I think Chef is an Astaroth, and I'm not entirely sure who Epont is, but I'm just excited to see everybody here today. We've got some amazing characters that we're going to be seeing today, possibly some ones that you're not expecting. So yeah, keep an eye out.
Yeah, that's right. Personally as well, Raziel is a player I'm looking forward to see. Uses a character that people don't use too much, Voldo, and the previous matches we've seen of him has always been involved with some just hype matches in terms of Voldo craziness, but also just his skill as a player. So hopefully we get to see him sometime as well. And you're right. Maybe some players who've been dabbling with other characters, early on, Habaduba was a kind of the first one in a way to change from a long-standing main and use a DLC character. I wonder if we're going to see any Setsukas and people that really stuck with her now that she's been out for 3 months or so. So I kind of want to see who's starting to establish the use of the DLC characters, mainly Setsuka, because we saw the initial rush of people posting tech and content. I want to see who is actually dedicated to that. So I hope we do get to see some Setsuka on stream and just really kind of start to use some of the DLC more than just seeing Habaduba being the resident Haomaru, because he's definitely sick with using that character. And yeah, Andy Roo really going in with the Grow, not a character that people used because he was considered weak at times, but the buffs and the changes, people started to sort of talk more about him, and I want to see Andy Roo really establish himself as using him as that strong secondary, and I respect it. Some people can commit to that, and when it comes to character select, they go to their main, so you're not really getting the practice to use them in that tournament setting. He's fully committed. Hopefully I don't say that and he goes that's for the whole tournament now and I've just chatted rubbish, but yeah, I can't wait to see how people have been sort of developing, practicing behind the scenes. And there's been a lot of stuff going on in SoulCalibur. There's been a team tournament with European tournament with the ETL as well. You've been a part of that before as well, Dan and I.
Yeah, the SoulCalibur EU sphere, I guess, for want of a better word, specifically somebody like M Phantasm, who puts on a lot of these tournaments. SoulCalibur EU Online, or EOS, European Online Series. We've got the ETL, ETL, which is the European Team League, which Season 2 is just finished. We've got the OFC, which is the Online Fight Club. All of them completely different formats to each other, variations on the double elimination, whereas OFC is a first to 5, first to 10, winners and contenders type of tournament. However, we haven't actually been able to do a consistent EU monthly because it's something that nobody's ever attempted before for the SoulCalibur community. We've got the offlines that we used to have We had 2 in London, which were going on. We've had about 2-3 months of those, including one from Elf, which started in January of this year, until, the world caught fire. But, we thought it was a really good opportunity to bring you a bog standard EU monthly that allows people to come back every single month, test their skills against some of the best players in the world, and also entice some newcomers into the scene as well. And we're seeing that today with some of the people we mentioned before.
I like that. The world caught fire with some hot coronavirus, so it's definitely not been a good time for SoulCalibur. We were going to have our first world tour, fully fledged. Namco actually pulling the trigger, not doing this half. We'll just do an invitational. Actually, going to do it, and then it gets stopped. So it's bittersweet because the developers of Namco talked about they had to switch gears. We saw Tekken have a recent update with its netcode, so you can tell that in their mind, they were not focused on improving the online. So the kind of knock-on effect of having such a devastating thing with Corona happening was that they actually said, right, we don't have tournaments. We need to focus on the online. So that means that in SoulCalibur 8, 9, 10, and 12, we shouldn't be having this online where it's bad. They should start building on it each time. So when we have stuff like this, we have online tournaments that actually have good netcode, make people want to actually participate in online tournaments because the environment's good. And you can start to have maybe internationals. And, there was a recent tweet from Michael Murray saying he's working with Okubo. Isn't that right, Dan? Right?
There was, yeah. There was a cheeky little tweet where it said that, well, yeah, Michael basically said he's working with Achilles Okubo. Not specifically on what, but we do kind of hope that it's on a netcode improvement because, mileage will vary depending on where you are, what ISP you're with, how far the opponent is you're fighting. But generally, if you can improve a netcode, especially give it some form of rollback, then your internet or your online experience is just going to be improved exponentially. So fingers crossed it's that. But personally, and I know some people might hate me, maybe even you, Dragon, but I hope it is just on the netcode. Because while we do have some insane characters in this game, I think for the most part, Calibur is better balanced than Tekken. And I think Okubo and Project Soul are just a bit better at equalizing and normalizing the roster to make them as good as each other. I am absolutely not saying that we don't have some crazy characters because we do. But generally, but I think generally our balance is just that little bit better than Tekken's. But if we can get that know-how from the Tekken project team with Michael Murray and Harada to get better netcode, I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
It sounds weird that we're talking about the same company. They're literally on the same floor. And it's like, hey, guys, did you know we have instant rematch in SoulCalibur? But in Tekken, we had to wait for an update to get there, and it still takes forever. Did you know, guys, we've got a new netcode that works, but you don't. So it's funny that this happens, and they've said on interviews, I remember seeing some behind the scenes, and they said that they have a kind of friendly rivalry competition, who can make the better game. Yeah, that's cool, but when it comes to sharing content that makes the game better, don't have a rivalry. Work together and make it happen. So that's where Tekken has some good stuff with its lobby system. SoulCalibur had better, but then Tekken had like free chat, and SoulCalibur had weird phrases, and then it got it. It's weird that they have this kind of, we have one good thing, you have one good thing. So as you said, I like the balance of SoulCalibur. They actually, I'm not saying they don't take the time in Tekken, but even the patch notes in Tekken are really bare bones. You cannot find them all the time. They don't have explanations. They just have, a few inputs and what. At least SoulCalibur has descriptions. You know what they're thinking. You can understand why did they make this change. Whether you agree with it or not, at least you can say, well, at least you said that. So your response to them is better. Where Tekken was just, we changed this, and you don't understand why. So I don't understand how they have this, disconnect. They're the same company, the same guys. Okubo was a producer on Tekken. I just hope that going forward, they start to break down some of these barriers. So we do see Tekken 8, SoulCalibur 7, and they have everything from day one. Banging netcode, instant rematch that don't take forever in Tekken 7, free chat, just everything that makes the game better, because people are coming back to Tekken because of the online being good. People that play SoulCalibur are like, it's not great. In my opinion, I have a much better experience playing SoulCalibur online than Tekken. Maybe because the smaller player base and they're dedicated and they actually have, LAN cables as opposed to Wi-Fi. But that's my experience. But if you then solve that netcode issue, you can start having internationals, US versus UK, US versus EU, things like that. So yeah, I hope they do, and I hope they still kind of refine the balance. Because like you said, Dan, the balance of the characters is all right, but what's your thoughts on the systems? Because that's been a talking point about Soul Charge and the mechanics of the game.
Yeah. So, Soul Charge, Reversal Edge, Soul Attack, Critical Edge. I think, to a degree, they're okay. But generally, an opinion that I've held for a while is that because the game is so explosive, very quick, and there's an emphasis on a lot of damage, it takes away a lot of what neutral could be, especially from a character that could excel in that situation. So a character like X and Mitsurugi having really quick critical edges is a very suppressive thing to have in their kit, because then you can't exactly have them be -12, -14 for a lot of the time, because if you're facing them, you're going to be CE punished. So I think in terms of progressing onto maybe a SoulCalibur 7, maybe even a drastic change in Season 3 for SoulCalibur 6, we could maybe see it slow down a little bit. I don't think it's going to happen in this game, but if we do get a SoulCalibur 7, I think Soul Charge needs to be looked at, because there are some characters that have just insane Soul Charges, and some where you can just, okay, well, I'm just not going to approach you then. You can have your burst, put me back to range 5, and I'm just going to walk backwards, and you've wasted half your bar trying to get back in. Whereas some characters have insane chase when they've got Soul Charge. They've got incredible moves that just get amplified in Soul Charge. Reversal Edge, I've been outspoken about Reversal Edge for a while. I'm not going to talk about that here, but generally, I think it's something that's turned off a lot of people to SoulCalibur, because not only is it just a one-button counter thing, but it also slows down the pace of a match. Everybody has different opinions. That's personally mine. I would like to see it either gone or severely nerfed in the next game. But generally, I think our systems are good. They build upon what this current generation of fighting games is all about. Flashy, quick, high damage, low risk, high rewards, crazy combos, just kind of insane environments. And I think that's where this generation of fighting games is head towards. I mean, you've got Street Fighter 5, Mortal Kombat 11, SoulCalibur 6, Tekken 7. We don't talk about DOA here, or any terrible SNK
DOA
game.
5 was
Sorry,
good.
Grim.
6, I don't know what happened with that game. 5 was good. 6 was...
yeah, again. Right. But, we could be seeing a shift, because places like... dev companies like Arxis are being somewhat transparent about their development cycle. They've made Strive more neutral based, so that it's easier to understand when you're a newer player. But I think a lot of people are hoping that when you actually get into it, it becomes incredibly in depth, especially with a mechanic like the Roman Cancel. So yeah, those are just my very quick thoughts on the systems of current generation of fighting games, especially SoulCalibur 6.
Excellent. Yeah, all great points. There's a lot to expect from the future fighting games with the new consoles as well. So we'll see what happens. First generation of the games actually on PC for fighting games.
It's very, very true. I mean, we're kind of at the precipice, right? At what point do we say we're over this generation now and move on to the next? And I think, we could be coming very soon. Could be coming very, very soon. But we're getting into our first game. Yangin Pika P, the owner of Team Red Kings, which Andy Rue is a part of, on the Salamel, which this is a very good stage for Zas, for sure. Fighting a Cervantes. Ivan, C2, I think is their name on Steam right now. So here we go, getting into our first game.
They showed the respect with the taunt out at the start as well. Oh, the clash as well. Good GI there. Kind of pushing him towards the edge.
They're playing pretty small caliber right now. Nothing too drastic.
Yeah, like I said, hit, they block, hit, they block, throw. Good way there from Pika. Stays on the ground.
Or doesn't punish it. -16. Or gets hit by the A+B. Goes for more gunshots, working towards that lethal hit.
just stand there and block. Yeah, he said very small caliber, tentative play. Now even on life there, doesn't block the second.
Yeah, gets actually caught running, hits that RC, that run counter. And Ivan takes the first round.
What if Ivan's going to start realizing Pika is trying to cover a lot of options with guard impact after having the move blocked?
Nice, 6B. 6BK into the curse. Good stepping.
There we go, once again, good delaying that.
2-3B gets blocked. Yeah, very, very small caliber right now. Nobody overextending too much. Nice CE. Pika's going to get a hell of a lot of damage here. Going to be in guts. I believe that was a successful AGI on that too.
What's the mix up? Oh, tries to go for the 3B. Doesn't bite.
That was a great 4-6B. Catches him Ukemiing, and that's going to be 1 round each. 1 for Pika, putting herself on that scoreboard.
Excellent. Oh, sidestep, but no punish after that as well. New move from Zas there.
Rising B, unpunishable. Nicely done. Good 2A. Oh, gets caught trying to do a jump B. Good call out by Ivan. There's another 4-6B. Okay, hits with an IGDR into the back turn B plus K, and there you go.
Yellow guard flashing, kind of in play for Pika as well. Oh, gets hit with the unblockable gunshots in the air, getting juggled for days.
That's going to be a lot of damage here. Look at... Pika's got no health left. Tries to step the IGDR, gets caught just stepping. Oh.
I like
Hits,
it.
With the cheeky ground shockwave into the CE. And that is going to be first game going to Ivan.
Those tactics are dirty because it really like, okay, I didn't get hit, I'm alright, because, you know, the earthquake, but then you think, oh man, it's into the guaranteed hit or critical edge.
Those kind of moves are a little bit dodgy, right? Because sometimes if you're just close enough, you can be hit by the hitbox of the move going downwards, but you can't really tell that distance. So sometimes you just stand there thinking you're going to be hit by the move itself, but then you get hit by the shockwave, and then another time you think you might be too far away, so you try and do a jump, and then you get hit by the hitbox going downwards anyway.
Yeah, you try and jump, and then Savannah just stabs you down. It's like, oh, so all your options are not covered there. And also, that's at the wall as well. You have the wall behind you. Those earthquake stuns is I really like that mechanic in SoulCalibur. You don't see that, I think, at all in Tekken, so pretty unique, and I like the way that people will use it when you have the walls in play as well.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, another 3-3B. Pika trying to go for the movement stopping moves. 3AK, no duck. Oh, catches him twice on the counter here.
No duck again. Just trying to stop him stepping. Good 2-way there.
Pika's on the offensive real hard. She definitely wants to try and take this back quickly to even up the score. Nice for Rising B.
Oh, okay, step. Drops a combo just because he hit air to air.
Ivan actually trying to push Pika more towards the wall. Hits her with the 2A plus B. Doesn't keep up the pressure. Lets her move out the way, and it might be turning tables.
Oh, no, that could have been a good
whiff punish. Yeah, so close. No whiff punish on the jump B either.
Got one curse, so she's still got a couple more mix-ups. Oh, no, it gets caught.
Caught back step in another 3-3B. A really good long-range move for Cervantes there. Incredibly linear, but there's a lot of guard damage. I believe it forces crouch as well. Really good move to do in that situation. Another wall rising A.
That is another such good move for Cervantes as well.
Yeah, even though it's minus 16, it's a tech crouching horizontal mid that's got weird block stun. So you know, unless you're on point with your punish, you're gonna be just a little bit too late.
Nice, good into her. Try to step. Pika working. Oh, okay, nice. Use of Zasala's long-range new move as well.
Hits that soul charge button. Are we going to see some A6B spam? Yes, we are.
Of course.
Goes for the teleport. No block punish.
Okay,
Damn.
one mix up, but stopped and just went for the throw.
This might not be enough to kill. No, just a little bit. Nice 1B in neutral.
Oh, that should be it. No!
That's not going to be a whiff punish. You don't have a normal CE Pika. Good
What?
2K.
Jump. Oh, I knew the 2A was coming. That was such a costly and expensive whiff punish and didn't actually get the round as well. Unlucky.
Very, very unlucky. I think Pika may have just expected him to press a button to get the AGI active, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. No block punish on the 3AB, on the 16.
And that's such a good move. Look how far it pushes you. So you're definitely going to get a ring out of certain parts as well. Oh, just drops
the combo. Not sure if it's due to whatever the problem is for... This looks a little bit slow for both of these players, but it could just be the spectator mode. Not entirely sure. They are happy to keep playing though, so it must be playable for both of them. Nice, while rising B. Nobody really expects that move.
Yeah.
Oh, seems to be... Okay, it seems... seems to have some technical difficulties, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, so Pika was somewhat struggling in that game. You know, Ivan was just pushing an offense, really good low pokes, 3-3-Bs over and over again, catching Pika, trying to force that spacing between the two. But you know, Ivan doing really well, especially with that last round with the shockwave into CE. That's something you absolutely hate to see, and you despise getting hit by it. It's so cheeky.
Yeah, I hate that shockwave because like I said, you think, all right, I didn't get hit. You're thinking you've got another chance, but then you see that CE. Oh man, I'm dead. Good work. He said Ivan playing well. He started to clock onto the strings with ducking the 3 AK for Zas. That happened to me a lot. When I played Andy at the start, I was not ducking that move. And you have to duck it to make them not use it and start mix up, because if you don't, they will keep rinsing it. So you have to make them know, all right, you can't do this for free. And it does take a few times, you know, if you're getting used to it, to duck it on reaction. So Ivan was starting to do that. So Pika's have to be careful of using that move a bit too much as well, because he was using the Wild Rising move with Cervantes. Like we said, it's got great... you can have good ring outs there as well. And I like the mix-up. You can run up to them and then they have to deal with whatever you're going to do next.
Oh, for sure. I think, like you say, you have to try and stop Zas from using that mix-up, because 3AK and 3AB. 3AB is really punishable for a lot of the cast. And they are very different moves. However, there is a way to kind of cheese it a little bit, but it's not guaranteed, especially online, because 3AK... being a mid-high, if you duck it, you get a really good reward. 3AB, I believe, is maybe a few frames slower, or possibly even maybe a few frames quicker. I'm not entirely sure. I'm not that familiar with Zas, but generally, because you kind of don't want to take the mix-up, because 3AK is super good, it can guard crush, and we all know as a Salamal after a guard crush can hit that 4-4-B for a lethal hit. Trying to, you know, maybe twitch duck and try and learn their habits is probably the best thing to do, rather than go for a full committal, because, you know, if you lose that guess, you're going to be in a world of pain, especially fighting a Zas. Yeah,
that's very true. That's the hard way, where you just think, damn, it takes you a few times to get Jordan to duck that, and at least if you duck that, you know they're going to have to use the 3-3-AB as well, and then you can start thinking of using applying that move, and just you're forcing them to actually use more moves, because Andy was saying, well, if you don't do it, I'm going to keep doing, as you said, guard crush, very dangerous against the wall with Zas, so just be able to restack those curses as well. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
We got that match arena building up nicely down the right, 39.50 as well.
Not too bad at all. What can they do to help improve that pot dragon? Let them know.
Guys, make sure you go to the match arena, !match arena in the chat. Donate to the prize pot for free. Free 50 cents TNT SWO1. This is the first one. I wonder if is anyone going to get the motif as well. I'm not going to spoil it, but does anyone know what motif or what is this inspired with, this kind of SWO thing going on here? Answers in the chat if you recognize it, and if you do, I'll probably make a judgment of how old you are as well.
I mean, you never know, right? Somebody could just very easily Google at the moment. Could be whatever. Oh, wow, okay. We're getting an Astaroth mirror. Not something I expected, but I'm kind of happy to see.
Yeah. Okay, so the Night Monarch Astaroth versus the Hydra Mask. A versus B. Not like ranks mean anything, but we have both Astaroth players on screen.
I mean, it's gonna be a test of who presses buttons quicker, right? Like who presses the most grabs and who breaks the most.
The Astaroth looks like he's a basketball player. That's like, right, I'm a demon and I'm here to shoot some hoops and dunk you. Yeah, he's gonna dunk you out the ring.
There we go. Boom. Into the grab. Doesn't get the whiff punish. Oh, but there's a grab on grab. Wall splat. Tries to go for it himself, and there's another grab. Here we go. 2-2-B, and that's going to finish off the first round. Oh no. I think we know what match this is going to be, everyone. I think we know what this is going to be.
This is a true grappling match. And that jumping throw with him is dirty. The recovery on it, if you're not used to it, is deceiving.
Very, very deceiving, especially for that low grab, yeah. Oh, so with the 6K into reverse ledge. Ooh, cheeky tech trap with the B option. Not going to kill just yet. Going to be really, really close though. Remember, Astaroth does have a natural 2A, but it doesn't matter. iFrog seems to. Ooh, very, very good. Cheeky 2K, evening up that scoreboard.
Good break. Good side step.
Nowhere.
Hell sweep.
Just launches in with the hell sweep. Yeah. That's what we were talking about. Astaroth has one of the only true 2A lows in the game. Soul charge on soul charge. Oh, it goes for the 6B, no. Doesn't get the counter hit confirmed.
Oh, they both.
Oh! 6B on 6B. Alright, who's going to be the victor of this situation? Evening up that life bar, almost got the same. Oh!
Just hacked him down. Hacked him down like a tree.
This guy's protected.
Good block. A good back step on that as well. Go, V-Maggot. Alright, what's the mix up on this grab? Good, alright, pops the soul charge, get away. But they're both big and beefy now. Armor for days? What is going on?
Oh, grabs him out the armor, just has enough soul charge left to hit that 2-2-B. Goes for the just frame grab in the air, evening up that life bar once again, tries to go for the unblockable cancel. Oh, nice GI! Oh, he tries to go for it again, but he just slams it down once more. Damn, getting that 2 rounds each final battle.
Good back step on that there as well. Bull rush. Filthy maggot.
Both went for the same thing, just knocked him, yeeted him across the arena. 6B into the Beyblade. What's the follow-up going to be?
Oh,
there we go. Out you go. And Chef takes the first game.
Oh, that was crazy. So we had the basketball Astaroth. I see why, dunking him left, right, and center, and then we had both of them doing the same moves at the same time. Mirror matches usually people hate, but I think SoulCalibur, they give you the most. They can give you the most hype with SoulCalibur with the mechanics, with just how the play styles, and just with ring out. So that was pretty bombastic.
Oh yes, definitely. I mean, you've got mirror matches, specifically matches like Maxi versus Maxi, which I love seeing. Yoshi versus Yoshi. You very rarely get to see an Asta versus Asta. And it's one of the most hilarious things I've seen in Calibur in a long time. And I can't wait to see the second game.
That's it, Lord Ginger. Perfectly symmetrical violence is what we want to see.
He goes for a charge ball rush. Oh, getting slammed down once again. Grabs on grabs on grabs.
In it. Scooped. Gets shoveled. Oh my god, I hate that hitbox of him.
It's like, it's a weird hitbox plus weird movement as well. You're not entirely sure where he's going to go.
I can give some leeway because he's massive, but there's sometimes it's unreasonable.
Well, yeah, you know, I mean, the law reason that Project Soul give is that Astaroth's whole body is a weapon. So if you get clipped by a bull rush after stepping, just remember it's law, guys. It's law.
If his kneecap touches you with his toenail, yeah, you got hit, mate. You got hit. Take
Exactly.
damage.
That's what happens when you're born a golem.
Oh, nice.
Break. Filthy maggot.
Just fakes it out.
Doesn't step it, tries to backstep instead. Gets caught moving. 6B. What's he going to do? Catches him teching. This is a lot of damage. Oh, look at that.
Jesus.
And then there's just a cheeky headbutt to finish it off.
Runs into a counter.
Nice,
Oh,
good
nice.
tech. I think we need the counter for how many grabs a bit tries to get him with the tech trap.
Sorry guys, we'll try and get that fixed. Apon is from Spain, he's not from the UK, so good representation from Spanish Astroth. Dunked.
Oh, good soul charge. Oh, and a nice armored bull rush to put Ipon on the board.
Blocks it.
Good call, not committing to the AA or the AB.
Oh, he runs up and
no way! You hate to see it, but this is going to be a really good advantage. He's going to be put into, just under critical health.
He's going to do the jump in. I thought he was going to do that jump in low grab. Oh.
It's a really good way to close the distance if you're not. If your opponent doesn't like pressing buttons at, you know, mid-screen, it's a really good way to pressure you for free.
Yeah, I often forget about that. You think, all right, I've got space, but then he jumps at you, and then you think, all right, I can punish it if you haven't seen it, but then he can recover very quickly from it. There we go, jumping into the bull rush as well.
Oh, A plus B, he tries to use some meter, but he gets knocked right out of it into a bull rush. And that is a perfect 3 rounds to 2. And that is going to be a... That's going to be a 1-1.
Excellent, good work from Epon. One thing I'm watching out for as well. You know when Astroth, I don't know notations. I'm bad at SoulCalibur notations. His Soul Charge Beyblade, you can reverse the ledge and build a ton of meter. And when I found out, I was like, wow, he can't do that for free now because at least you can gain a lot of meter for that as well. So I want to see if any of the players start to utilize that.
Yeah, so it's something that you can't really do after certain situations because he has he has 2 follow-ups from 6B. He can do the Beyblade or he can do a break attack. Specifically to stop you from reversal edging or GIing just on prediction. But you know, if he starts Beyblading out of range, just hit that reversal edge button because not only are you almost guaranteed to get a full bar, it just completely shuts down that offense as well because you do get a reversal edge hit.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He can just spin for days and control the spin. I think, you know, getting all that meter definitely is a bit fair for what he can do with that. Should be dead.
Nice, there we go, 2-2B.
Shout out to Bluefire. Even Spanish players don't know how to pronounce it. All right, we're good. We're good. I don't feel bad if you pronounce the player's names wrong, but, you know, if even his community are questioning it, then...
Exactly. Interchangeable name pronunciation. That's what we love. Good whiff punish.
Time to die. Good back step on the throw, but no punish. Bit slow.
Nice 6K. He's going to hit the wall.
Yes. Oh no.
He drops the combo. Doesn't quite get it. Catches him ducking. Good break.
He's in Soul Charge. A bit too slow to utilize it. Gets caught in the legs.
Nice 2A there to finish off that round. Good whiff punish. Hits that soul charge. Definitely wants to get back into this game. Wants to move on in that winner side bracket. Hits him with the 6B charge.
Ooh, nice.
Could reverse ledge there, but he probably didn't want to risk it. Oh, great tech crouch with the low. He's just pressuring him over and over again. Shoulder barges in.
Oh, wakes up with a knee.
What is Chef gonna do here? He's getting caught at every single button.
Nice sidestep, but he gives a break attack. Maybe he could have got more reversal edge.
Reversal. Oh, beautiful! All right, into the 2-2-A. Oh, and that's gonna finish it off for Chef in the 3rd round. Nicely done. So, quick reminder that reversal edge now doesn't work on all Astaroth grabs. It only actually works on his tech crouch grab. As in, like, you won't be able to get a reversal edge hit. You'll only get a clash with a block, which is a major buff to Astaroth in the recent patch.
Right, both charged up.
Nice. Great duck.
Oh, again.
Oh, this might be all over for Epon.
Does he pick him up?
Apon. Boom. And a wonderful perfect for Chef. Russian player. One of the first onlines, I believe, that he's been a part of. So congratulations to Chef, taking it 2-1 over Apon. Moving forward in that winner's bracket. Very nicely done. And a very quick reminder before we move on to our next game. We're going to do something a little bit more for the community, give you a bit extra caliber. If you lot want to let us know, either here or on Twitter, who you think was the most exciting match on stream, we will contact both of them and see if they want to do a 1st to 10. Any match on stream throughout the entirety of the tournament, round 1 to top 8. Let us know which is the most exciting. Maybe we'll even put a poll up, who knows? But if you let us know, we'll give you more Calibur content in the form of a 1st to 10.
Yes, that's right. Good shout out to both players. First time we've kind of seen, I think, these on stream. Good to get some of the new players, get their name out there. Russian player, Spanish player, a truly international scene. The SoulCalibur scene isn't massive, but I think definitely we all come together, and all the tournaments across the EU are going to have players from all across the EU. So it's good to see some representation from Spain and Russia. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Oh, I was not expecting it to be this exciting for our first monthly. Like, you lot are what make Calibur special. And if we can keep continuing with these monthlies, with games that are this hype, with tournaments that have got this many players in, possibly even more as we grow in popularity and we keep this moving forward, it's just going to be even better. So moving on to our next game, who is it going to be on stream? Let's have a quick look. It seems we're going to have Horseface versus Tao Kaka Meow. Another Astaroth versus maybe Tira, maybe Hilda, maybe X. Oh no, we're doing Loz versus Greywall first. My apologies. Loz versus Greywall. So we know who Loz is. Pretty well known in the UK community. He's a Talim. Crazy Talim. Loves pressing buttons, as those Talims should do. But I'm not that familiar with Greywall. Do you know anything about Greywall Dragon?
No, me neither. I had a look at some people's like results and just looking at the brackets and that. But I love it when you see a name and you actually, I don't know anything about them. And rather than try and dig up, I'll just wait and see what happens in the bracket. It being a smaller game, there is people that have come in like I don't want to say second wave. That's got a different meaning now. But in terms of like people getting into the game initially, and then we're seeing people pick it up after joining the Discord. So he's a name I'm not familiar with. So I'm excited to see what who they use, and then just the play style as well, especially against a player like Loz. When you face Loz, you have to quickly get a grasp of how he plays. And if you don't, you're going to get eaten up. You're going to get destroyed. And then after, you're going to think, oh, right, now I clocked into how he plays. But when you're in a tournament 1st to 2, good luck trying to do that. He's a solid player. He's been getting very stronger, and then slowly been working his way up in sort of tournament placings, doing really well. So we'll see how Greywall deals with a player like Loz, Talon main.
Yeah, so like you're saying, Loz is a player who you really have to try and adapt to, especially in the 1st to 2. But him and Lionide are two of the insanest players the UK has seen in a while. Like, they place relatively well in tournaments, but if you see them play, like you put them on stream or you watch them in offline, they are nuts. Like, they have this weird game sense that you never really see from anybody else in the SoulCalibur community, and I love watching it, especially when you fight somebody like Lionide, who is just an AGI maniac. You know how you see a lot of X's who play very reserved. They play to their strengths, which is just safe launchers, I-12CE. Not Lionide, no. It will just throw out an AGI whenever it feels like it.
That is so true. All right, so we got Taki, Grey Wall, with good with the 3B starting off. Rank B as well. Not that rank means anything, but you know, been playing it for a bit.
Yeah, you know, it's always a good pastime to go into ranks, test your mettle against some of the players across the continent. Nice, good reverse ledge cancel by Loz.
Okay, and he ducked the string, so he's got the knowledge on there.
Oh, and that's going to be a lethal hit. Good cancel. Nice, hits him with the 50-50. And Loz takes the first game first round, sorry, pretty convincingly.
Slidey.
Nice wall rising A. It's a really good move to check people with Taki because it's a safe horizontal mid, pretty quick, and if you can hit a counter hit, that entire string is guaranteed.
Same good knowledge from Grey Wall. He's ducking the right strings with Talim, so he knows he's just not getting the right punish. So we'll see that get cleaned up, and yeah, that's a ring out, and she stays in as well.
Love to see it. I mean, Grey Wall seems to understand this matchup pretty well, playing a lot of small caliber when he's able to get close to Loz. Nice, good GI. Don't know what Loz was waiting for there, possibly waiting for a response, but then gets stepped for his 6BB.
Nice. Doesn't commit in the wild rising B. Sidestep into the launch.
Oh, Loz was so close to possibly getting a ring out there. Talim with a 4B counter hit against the ring edge is incredibly dangerous.
Nice, that 1A into the transition to stance.
Damn, Grey Wall just seems to be getting so many of these 3Bs into Stalker A plus Gs.
Oh, try to see.
Yeah. Wall rising BB. Good reverse ledge.
Oh, jumps
out.
Jeez, that was
a disgusting Wind Fury into Wind Cannon. Holy, that was great.
Good block on the low. Horizon beat. Oh, they clash. Goes in favor, and he gets a lethal hit for it.
That's a setup that Loz has actually been testing out for a while. 4B on Talim is such a good move to try and get clash setups for. Oh, gets caught GIing, hits him with the unblockable, 6k. Oh, goes for the mix-up. Very nicely done by Grey Wall. But...
Oh, jeez!
Loz was just a few pixels away from it. But that was an amazing call-out by Grey Wall. Oh my god.
There's very rare times you see a Talim CE not hit when someone's like doing a move. So wow, using some ninja stuff to his advantage, teleported that.
That was, yeah. That is what you call awareness. Understanding perfect spacing. Mom, get the camera type situation.
Nice.
Here's him with the reverse ledge. Loz trying to get this advantage. Good call out.
Touched it.
Win cannon. Oh my god. Loz just run up CEing, and unfortunately for Grey Wall, not understanding that he's fighting a Talim who is just going to run up and CE you regardless of situation, and Loz manages to take that first game. Man, that was a hype first game, Dragon.
That really was. I'm really impressed with Grey Wall straight off the bat. When you start ducking string heavy characters and all right, I can see what level and what knowledge they have. His utilization of, like you said, playing small caliber up close to Talim, it was great. I'm good to see a player I'm not familiar with showing their skill. Excellent work. I don't know if he committed and he pressed the button when he went into her stance, but whether or not he did or not, he avoided her C, came down with a lethal hit. Excellent comeback as well, and really getting a sense of Loz's timing to call out the guard impacts.
Okay, Loz hitting that Wind Fury, trying to get some space. Good whiff punish, great bait. And that's going to be a lot of damage. Loz doesn't want to try and tackle Taki at the edge.
Nice, jumping away, he's expecting that low. Good punish that, goes into stance. Excellent.
Oh, and there it is again. Yeah. Talim special. Oh, okay. Unblockable cancel into Winsult A. Yeah, Loz is looking pretty domineering right now. 6BB getting caught.
Not thinking he's going to finish the second hit. He does. The stance. Oh, he tries to press. I think if you don't do it with she's minus, so you can't mash after that.
Plus frames, Loz trying to contest. Nice 6k. No block punish. Tries to hard read an GI, I believe. That's not going to be a whiff punish, but he's going to take his chances. He's going to cancel. Nope, going to go for the full string. Get those plus frames into 6BB.
Just to mix up. Goes low with the splits.
Nice.
Stiff mid kick to the face.
6k getting buffed recently. Is now I-12. Keeps its tech crouching properties. Still +8 on hit.
Yeah, super solid move from Talim.
Nice Rising K.
Nice, gets the talisman.
Damn, 1A.
It's
Loz
nice.
Not ready. Trying to just statue block there, but he's going to get 1A right out the arena. Greywall putting himself on the board.
Nice, good whiff punish there.
Nice 1A.
Oh, still caught. Tried to get out of the way.
Gonna get caught by the A. He's gonna go for full string. No, goes for the PO cancel into the back grab. Good soul charge by Loz. Doesn't want to deal with this.
Hey.
Oh, but he still gets hit by the follow-up.
I was thinking she might be a bit too high for the shockwave to bring him down. Good duck, but no, doesn't stick in.
But unfortunately, doesn't block the last hit of the string. And Loz takes it 2-0. Commiserations to Greywall, but he's not out yet. He's going to be put into that loser's bracket right down there while Loz moves on to that winner's side.
Great work. Let's have a look at this matcherino. Oh, we got $65.50.
Ooh, very nice. $66 now. Let's have a quick look at our top contributors before we get into our next game. We've got $25.50. Hashtag Buff Dan, also gonna go cry in base hole because of course nerf Siegfried. Lord Ginger with the $10.50. Kariko and Zolith, my apologies, with the $5.50. Then finally Tadlos with the $2.50. But don't forget, we still have a free code if you head to the Matcherino page, !Matcherino in the chat, and put in the free coupon code TNTSWO1 because this is the first of many monthlies to come right here on the Elf channel.
That is right. While we get ready for our next match, let's have a look at some of these results quickly, the ones that we haven't seen on stream. So, Mercy Main progression into winners round 3 took over Lucian. Zanaken defeated Ganondorf 2-1. I think that might be unexpected, not because nothing about skill, but just Zanaken hasn't done much in online tournaments and coming out and taking out a strong player like Ganondorf, who is a well-established tournament player. Excellent work. And then Mydros taking over Monkey King. Andy Roo defeated Shino. Zolif over Vile Muffin. Nice work. Daniel, do you want to have a look at the next matches in the lower winners bracket there?
So we got Abby versus the Arpeggiator. Well, actually, Raziel taking out Tadlos 2-0 to move on to the winners round 3 before we get into that. We have Abby versus Arpeggiator. Pej taking it 2-1 over Abby. Perhaps they both went Amy. I'm not entirely sure, but that's hilarious if they did. Dexus getting DQ'd. Wasn't actually here on time or here at all. So Denton gets that free buy. Phantasm taking Lio 2-0. And a few more 2-1s and 2-0s to put us into winners round 3. But right now, we're seeing Tao Kaka versus Fountain. Tao actually working on her ex very recently when she's been streaming. I'm not entirely sure it's the best option against Astaroth, but especially on this stage, because look, not only is this a Yoshi's Island stage, but it's Astaroth's cave stage. Like,
I was going to say his cave or something.
It's one of the best stages for a character like Astaroth. He's so big, you don't have a lot of room to maneuver. If he's able to hit you against those walls, it's out. It's immediately out. Nice 6k, getting blocked.
A good backstep on that throw, pushing towards the ring edge.
Good block punish.
Mix up into throw, thought that was coming. Tried to interrupt.
Oh, gets caught trying to sidestep that
he gonna go for it?
chunky axe. Okay, Tao just taking her time. Doesn't want to overextend. Doesn't break the grab. What's the Yoki going to be from Astaroth?
Just needs one little hit in the shins.
Oh, good low block bite. He's trying to get that guard crush. Great whiff punish. Tao evening up the score on the board. Alright, Tao sit. Oh, random GI putting it into red guard gauge, but Photon trying to do a charged bull rush instead and getting punished for it. And there's the guard crush.
Big knee. Not that much after it though. Alright then, axe to the face.
Nice.
Nice! Scraped up.
That big axe against the tiny child. Good break. Doesn't commit to the 6B string, and this is going to be a third round Photon on the board.
Good use of that knee for him. He can just stop with a lot of options. The tech crouch frames on it and just the hitbox. Just don't have to deal with some of the mix-ups, just Nia.
Yeah, the tech crouch, the hitbox, it's quick as well. I-16 or I-18, like, you know, it's an insane move. Astaroth has almost everything in the game that you would want. Pretty good close range pressure, armor, unreactable CE, really good tech crouch frames, +8 on your command grabs.
Good break, and into another one. Doesn't break this.
+8 into another, yeah, there you go. This is going to be crazy Oki for Astaroth. Good soul charge.
Desperately needed it. Got not much life to work with though. What's he going to do? You filthy maggot.
Damn, okay, Tao just wants to... She wants to create that space.
Oh no. The little kick in the leg.
Cheeky 2K to put Horseface on the board.
The chip damage in this game for certain soul charge moves is so useful because it's not like maybe in a Street Fighter you have the specials only do chip and it's single hits, but the chip damage does the equivalent of a decent poke, and then you have it ending in a break attack or something, and it's kind of like, so it's still your turn and you only need that little hit. So good work from Photon. Doesn't have to look for a hit, just get all that chip and then look for one little cheeky kick in the leg. Yeah.
I mean, you know, Astaroth's got one of the only true 2A lows in the game as well, and it's got pretty good range. He's got a really good 2K. Not the best range in the game, but again, it is an unseeable low, true low. It's tricky. It's very, very tricky to get into an Astaroth, especially as a character like X. But, you know, Tao was doing relatively well.
Nice duck.
Gonna go for the Oki. Guaranteed combo damage. Hits him with the grab.
Doesn't go break attack. Stays on the ground. Pull the trigger. Tao going through more mids now. Not really using too much lows against Photon. He has not got much of a reason to duck at the moment.
Nice 6BB.
Oh, God.
That's just that's the Astaroth special, innit? You do a command grab, make yourself +8 if they correctly guess, then just hit another grab.
Yeah, you know most of the time they're not going to press on, I think, because they're so minus, and then I'll just throw them again. Just grabbed her out of that as well.
I mean, it's what he wants to do. Oh, that's not going to be enough. Nope, hits with the backstep. 6K is completely safe to everybody in the cast. It is -8 for some unknown reason. It's an incredible move.
You can see Photon trying to get some distance. Off axis. Gets launched.
Just slightly off axis, yeah.
Nice, good option. Doesn't press. Good. Sidestep. Takes to the wall. No.
Nice, good block. Oh, getting caught trying to back jump while rising B. It's a great move for X as well. Super quick, has a really good hitbox, safe on block. But that's just X in a nutshell, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll sweep. Oh, they clash. Doesn't get anything off, goes for a bit slow move, but then gets dunked. Good. Fulton definitely trying to create distance, use the range to his advantage, backing away, shovel. All right, this is gonna hit.
This isn't gonna work. We're gonna get armored through with the 6B.
Oh no! Scrape her up. Yep.
Boom. Oh.
All right, we got the ledge. Oh, this is gonna hit.
Max.
Just get
straight up. Clocked right across the face.
All right.
B. Oh, got the hitbox on that.
No. Yeah.
Purely because PSX is a super tech crouch, it just goes straight through. It's a very similar thing with Halmaru's projectile. Even though it like travels across the floor, the hitbox is only a special mid, so it won't hit a super tech crouching person.
Right. Back away. Faked unblockable. Tried to use the shovel. Low grab. Doesn't go for the low option. Goes to the throw into the sea, and this.
Yeah.
Will he dead? It's gonna scale a bit, man. He should be dead after that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even though it does scale pretty hard, he's like less than critical health, and there we go. Yeah, evening up that score.
Good work. I'm still not seeing much lows from Taokaka, but we just unfortunately
looks like we've lost Fulton.
I wasn't seeing much lows from Taokaka. She was still just using the mids, not using the low stance from that new move from Shanghua, but opting to go for the mid option, but still was able to even up there.
Yeah, it's something special when when you can have to guess in a 50-50 situation against a grab like that, and then if you guess wrong, you're getting CE'd. While it does scale pretty hard, if you're just under critical health or the opponent is in critical health, it's kind of just over at that point. X is an incredibly strong character, in my opinion. I think she's very underestimated. While she doesn't have a lot of damage that like front loaded into her moves, she has mix-ups, she's safe, very quick CE, a lot of opportunity to rob you with those grabs, especially with those very quick on recovery low grabs. Against a character like Astaroth, though, I think you've got to be really, really quick. You have to understand what the Astaroth is doing, because while you do have some really good ways to get them out of armor with your BB, 6-6 BB, the range advantage that Astaroth can enforce is pretty good.
Yeah, I would agree. Like you said about her not having sort of like the front loaded of damage of, off the bat, she doesn't have big damage, but where the strength that she has with the mixer, with the AGIs, and they cover a lot of options where if you make a mistake or you whiff, she has options to cover that. So then you've always got, all right, well, I'm not going to get punished for this, and they have to guess. She's got that backswing blow. She's got the AGIs. She's got stance transition with tech crouches as well. So definitely a strong character when you start to really utilize everything together. Another reason I was mentioning the lows because of the armor to beat out from Astaroth. Fulton wasn't overly abusing the armor. I'd admit that, but just in a way, when you're going to start your offense, let me just do a low, because if he does, then he's at least going to get hit out of it. So, yeah, just really oppressive. I like the way Fulton was making sure to use the distance. He wasn't trying to get into up-close war with Shanghai. He was staying back, using the pokes to get out, and then once he was in the range, he was coming with this hefty axe to try and control the distance of that range. So, yeah, it was just really good work. And these two are friends, so they do play a lot. So I guess we're seeing a lot of instances because they know how each other work and things they were doing.
Yeah, they fight each other a lot on stream, off stream, in lobbies, anywhere really, just to get that practice in. But what have we got for the rest of the bracket so far? Let's have a quick look. So we've just had the Horseface versus Taokaka game, which means we have finished off winners round 2. Moving into winners round 3, we have let's have a quick look. We're going to be having Raziel versus Arpeggiator on stream next. That'll be a Voldo versus Amy. Baddie versus Seiwen. Taki versus Yoshimitsu. And then moving on to the next set of winners in quarterfinal, we could be seeing Zanakan or Myadros versus Mercy Main or... Let's have a quick look. Or Horseface or Talcak. I'm not entirely sure because the score doesn't seem to be updated just yet, but there you go. That is what we'll be seeing very shortly. Game AJ, Andiru or Zolith versus Raziel or Arpeggiator. AK, Denton versus Phantasm. So either of those two versus Baddie or Saywen. And then Habaduba versus Los Kias. The winner of that will be fighting Silas or Blade of Flame. So we've got an incredible bracket going for you in the winner's side. But we are somewhat lagging behind on the losers. So if we'll let them catch up before we move on too quickly. So we can give you a entertaining tournament with everything running on time.
Excellent, that is right. We've got quite a good mix of players progressing into the tournament from across the EU. Also, I'm really interested to see that Raziel vs Arpeggiator match. I haven't seen Arpeggiator play before. Raziel, known for his Voldo, and a super strong player from a character that people don't use. So personally, I really want to see that match. I like this sort of unknown aspect of player not seen and a character you don't see too much. So that is looking really good. And then it'll be good to see Baddie versus Saywen. Baddie was a player that really improved on the sort of that summer of lockdown SoulCalibur. Started to really get these high placings and doing well. So yeah, interested to see how he's been doing recently. So yeah, some good matches coming up. And guys, we still got that match arena while we get the next games for you on stream. $65. Still, you can donate using the free code TNT SW01. Give the guys some love. All goes to the players, and just really helps with the stream. If you want to see more of this, the support just helps for seeing more SoulCalibur and just more prize pots in that.
It's actually at $78 right now. $78 in that Matcherino so far. Thank you to Andy Roo with the $10.50 saying, I love you all. We all love you too, Andy. But yes, as Dragon said, don't forget TNT SW01. So that is TNT SW01 to add a free 50 cents to the prize pot. And also, please don't forget, you can vote for your favorite match on stream. We will then contact those two players and hit them up to do a first to 10 on stream as well. And that will also be encompassed by another Matcherino, just so we can get them a little bit more money. If they end up winning this tournament and you want to see them again, we'll give them more money with that Matcherino. More caliber, more fun, more awesomeness. And while we're getting into this game, very quick shout out to two projects that are going to be coming up very soon. We have Iron Pride Tekken Tournament coming up very, very shortly on November the 22nd, which is going to be the Christmas Iron Pride. And then on November the 28th, we're going to have the EU SoulCalibur Online Challenge. So we're all kind of waiting for some kind of announcement. Do you think we'll get something, Dragon?
I think we should, because it's actually my birthday on that day, so that would be a great present from Okubo.
Okay.
Please give me Huang. I've been waiting for ages for him, but I hate when we say there's going to be an announcement, but when you just look at everything, right? I was actually looking at the Setsuka announcement DLC date to see how long it's been and thinking, all right, now, because we did this last time, we was like, when are we going to get Setsuka? It's been 3 months since Haomaru, so we should get something. And we were thinking, what events are coming up? At the moment, it didn't make sense for SoulCalibur to announce anything around Tekken's 1 because it's, get overshadowed. Also, Tekken had their online challenge of the weekend, so that made sense. And then you think, what do we have coming up for SoulCalibur that's big enough to get like a dedicated SoulCalibur viewer base that's coming up? And it's the last online challenge for the EU. So I imagine they'll probably announce it there because they showed the little screenshot or the shadowy image, which they haven't done this SoulCalibur core of generation, which is interesting. People were giving their takes on who they thought it was going to be. So I am gonna say we will hear something, because if we don't and it gets to be like the 2nd of December, I think it'll be 4 months in Setsuka. I also want to acknowledge that we talk about wanting DLC and updates, but to be fair, the SoulCalibur Project Soul isn't as well, I don't want to say funded or supported. They don't have as much resource as Tekken. They've said it, about allocating resources. We know that Tekken is the golden child fighting game. So SoulCalibur will probably get the afterthought on a lot of things, especially because of COVID exacerbating kind of, you know, them being not as a priority. I want to give a shout out to them because they also do it for the love of the game. You know, the love of us who've shown the support for the first season, helped get a second season, and in turn they try to do as much work as they can to get us Setsuko and these other characters. So there's been a lot of delay, but I'm thinking, man, we're gonna see Hwang Sung Kyung on the 28th. And if it's not him, it can't be Algo. Like, what? Nah, Algo. Nah, that thing. You were like, it's Algo because I saw spikes, like, or I saw like flowing. Like, oh, come on, it's not him. It's not. I'm saying it's not him. It can't be him. It's got to be Hwang. People at the start of SoulCalibur 6, I heard people don't want him back. I heard, I don't want to see Algo. I'm sick of this. People were like, they didn't want to see the bubble stuff. So I'm kind of surprised that there was all this Algo love that comes out of nowhere. But I guess it's what happens with games, you know? People don't say much about Kunimitsu and then everyone's a Kunimitsu main. So, who knows?
Well, that was a meme on Twitter, right? Well, yeah, we will definitely see come November the 28th. However, we are getting our match halfway through here. We've got Sailin versus Baddie. Baddie taking a strong lead here. Great roll under for the Dragonflight A, but this isn't going to be enough. He's going to get air controlled out of it. And once again, back turn K. Nice, good soul charge. Baddie just trying to stay in that health lead. Oh, that's going to work! Because it is a mid. Very nicely done. Baddie's not going to be able to take this just yet. It's not going to kill. But very, very close. Couple of pixels left.
Oh, he the kunai. I love that.
Catches him rolling. Very nice with the PO cancels as well. Baddie taking a very early lead over Seiwen.
Welcome to the stage of history.
1-0.
I like that where he just went in with that med K and he was just like, yeah, I know you're going to do something to try and close the distance. Nope, C straight away. Excellent work from Baddie.
Yeah, it's one of the when you're first starting out as a Yoshimitsu, or when you've played Yoshimitsu for a long time and you encounter a Taki, med-K'ing and then going into Dragonfly or Raw stances is incredibly dangerous because, like you just saw there, anything you do is going to get iframed by Taki. But an incredible A6 lethal hit to start off. And Baddie going to be working towards, is he going to go for Baku stacks? Nope, just goes for one that time. Goes for Oki instead. Nice,
good.
B plus K, good break attack.
Was that Sailor Moon outfit, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. I'm not up on my Sailor Moon characters, but it very much looks like a Sailor Moon outfit.
Good GI.
Goes for Rainbow Drop. Catches him, +8 into anime. And Baddie trying to be cheeky with that back turn B plus K. Seiwen's having none of it. Just going to launch him. And one round to Seiwen.
There's with 3 Bs into the stance. Good spacing there to not get caught by it. Is he gonna? Yes.
Doesn't quite get the just frame for the extra, but you know, a little bit of bar there. Just what you need, really. He's got enough to do a few brave edges. Wonder what Seiwen's game plan is going to be, because he's got a really good advantage if he's able to get Baddie to the edge of the arena. Trying to hit the A6, 4 crouch 3K. What's the Oki situation going to be? Just goes for a single 3B.
Oh, nice, ducks under the throw. No, but stays on the ground, doesn't wake up for his own throw.
-12, no block punish by Baddie, but he gets the mix-up in possession. So that's something that a lot of Yoshimitsus have had trouble with recently, is that Yoshimitsu has a lethal hit condition, which is on 2-on-4, which is to tech crouch a high. So in theory, he should have got a lethal hit for ducking Baddie's grab, but it just didn't activate in time.
Nice, using the stance to get out of there. A good sidestep, but no, doesn't go for a back throw or anything, goes for the door knocker, but recovered quick enough. Oh no.
Seiwen's gonna try and go for a ring out, and he does! Very nicely done. Seiwen about to bring this back, make it 1 game all. Nice 2-8. Oh, if he'd have just done that a couple of seconds later, he would have been able to get a lethal hit. But Baddie, very aware that Yoshi's got 2 lethal hits based on bar usage. So he's getting rid of it quickly. No block punish on that.
Yeah, that was super unsafe. We didn't think it was going to block. Launch that, yes.
Oh, but he doesn't get it this time. He went from getting the just frame to getting the normal version to not getting it at all. Baddie not ducking 2-on-4A. It's going to cost him. Nice 50-50 there. Alright, Baddie pressuring Saban to the edge, but not even. He's allowing him to give him the space because he doesn't want to get rung out himself.
Oh, nice.
Good step into A6. There's going to be a hefty bit of damage. Unblockable cancel. Is he going to go for Buffy stacks? Yes, he does.
Unblockable cancel. Gets the reversal edge. This.
Okay. I think that is once again a problem with the slow playback of the lobby. We do apologize. We are having a few technical difficulties. However, we're getting on with our winner's side games. So Mercy Main beat Horseface. No, Horseface beat Mercy Main. Apologies, 2-0, which is very surprising because I thought Hilda had a relatively good matchup against Astaroth. But Horseface showing his domineering side, coming out the gates blazing in recent tournaments, doing really, really well, putting himself into a guaranteed spot in winners quarterfinals. We still have a few games to go. Zanakan versus Mydros still have to report. We'll be waiting on Denton versus Phantasm, Habaduba versus Loz Kias, and Silas versus Blade of Flame.
Nice, got some good matches. Yeah, and that's actually you wouldn't have picked that. Horseface doing really well, and it's good to see some of these players that were like mid-ish in terms of maybe placings. A few times they would get to the upper echelon, taking out some big names here and there. Looking at some of their results going through the bracket, everyone's kind of leveling up as well. So it's good to see people breaking their previous placings as well and taking out some strong players. We're progressing slowly for the losers bracket, trying to get some of those matches there going as well. I can see. Oh, Andy Root took over Zolif. Oh, right. So Zolif, 2B player, has dropped down to losers. Andy Root is progressing into winners quarterfinals. We'll face the winner of Raziel versus Arpeggiator. All right.
Just to see if we can sort out them technical difficulties. Remember, we have a Matcherino, ! Matcherino. We are at $91.37. Big thanks to Boxty, one of the resident UK lads. Looking forward to watching the rest of this awesome tour. Love you all. #BuffX. Let's please get that message deleted from the Matcherino. Thank you very much.
Delete the message and the donate.
No, keep the dono.
Keep his money.
Yeah, exactly. Just delete that message, or just cut off the end of that message. But yes,
thank you.
As
Boxy.
mentioned, this will be a continuous thing every single month. Of course, this is the first time we're doing a online monthly. So technical difficulties are expected, especially as a SoulCalibur stream. So we hope that you will come back next month and the month after and the month after, because as much as we want to give stuff for the Calibur community to do every month, keep them competing, keep them fresh, we also want to make it better and better each time we do it.
That is right. Your support, the community support, is really what makes this thing going. Even from people behind the scenes as well. Shout out to Sepius, Smudge on admin as well, Churchy behind the scenes on stream. These are the work from the community behind the scenes. No one's getting anything out of this. Really makes the community, and it shows when projects see these kind of things, see constant updates with this scene is running a tournament, this scene is running a tournament. That's what kind of gives them motivation to take it further with that series. If they didn't see any of these things, they'd think, well, was anyone playing the game? But once they see dedicated people, dedicated scenes, coming off the bat, putting their own time and effort and money in these projects is what gives them hope. And I have to say, they're one of the most vocal, maybe not one of the most, but I appreciate they're being more open with Oyama doing sort of not Q&A, but responding to a lot of messages on Twitter as well, and having the hashtag. So there's always more that can be done, but I acknowledge that they've done improved a lot with their communication over the years, especially from a SoulCalibur front. Previously, they'd release you the game and like, that's it. There's the game. No communication at all. So they've kind of got their ears to the ground with the scene, and even them giving that screenshot of the character was something to make that we haven't forgotten about it.
Yeah. So I mean, that big gap between SoulCalibur 4 and then Soul Calibur 6, where nothing existed, right, guys? Nothing happened
that
between
was a
gap.
massive. I think I must have transitioned from like high school, college to like a fully fledged adult. That was a big gap. Like nothing really happened there, did it? Just...
Yeah. Soul Calibur 4 to Soul Calibur 6. That's it. But yeah, like you're saying, the communication, well, from devs, especially in the current generation of video games, has been way more transparent. I think not only because gaming has become more mainstream and it's more acceptable now to be transparent as a gaming company, but I think companies rely on their communities now more than ever, especially if you're doing it as a live service. Games that are meant to be played ad infinitum, just over and over again, they have to be patched. They have to be supported. And the only way that you can truly have an engaged community is by your developers being in the community themselves. And like you're saying, when we had Masuo and Okubo answering questions on Twitter regarding balance and changes and upcoming things, it really gives everybody a sense of community and the fact that the developers that we're supporting care about us and the game that they're making. And I think that's just as important as us putting on tournaments for their game, as people playing their game, buying the season passes, everything. You know, it comes under one roof of the Soul Calibur FGC, and that's kind of why I'm still here, to be honest.
What do you think, Dan, about, you see, like the bigger genres in your bigger games, whether the Fortnite, Rainbow Six, they have seasons, they have not just from a money pass, like sell you a season pass, they have events. I think fighting games need to start exploring more of, hey, log into it for this week and we have this special event. Defeat the golden, Azo in ranked and you get something. I think they need to explore this stuff to keep them coming back. Because someone made a good point about Tekken where they got to Tekken God Prime and the streamer's like, well, there's no point streaming it. There's nothing to really explore. There's nothing to really kind of keep them invested in streaming. And that's what helps people get involved. I remember there's games that were long and dead. This skateboarding game called Skate. A streamer streamed it and they printed more copies because they're like, oh, people actually streamed it. And then Skate 4 or 5 is coming out because of purely of streaming and the community spirit. If Soul Calibur had, first of all, they thought about their ranks better than a leaf and letters, and then they eventually gave these titles. That was a bit disappointing. And then Tekken having the rank reset, I think they need to explore more of this kind of rank reset, more of these things that make average streamer. And the game has got content for that. Tekken has its Tekken Force mode, and Soul Calibur had its something similar. Imagine you've got Tekken Force mode, 2-player co-op, online, people streaming that. That's not dedicated to the fighting, so the casuals will actually think, I won't go on ranked because I'm a bit apprehensive about getting my ass kicked. I'll do Tekken Force mode and do co-op mode, especially off the back of Streets of Rage coming back. Why, that would have been perfect for Tekken rather than bowling. That's not even fighting. At least the Tekken Force mode is you're punching crap out of people. So I think they need to explore more of this content, as you mentioned, Dan, as a service, not having to completely change up their format. But why, as a casual that isn't invested in this game, going to get invested when constantly I turn in my PC or my console and, oh, there's an update for Soul Calibur. There's this going on. There's this event going that links into this. I really like what the other games do where they have special events for Siege where they've got one special map they've created, and then for that 1 month you go and enter it. So Tekken has showing where it's going with the Pac-Man special arena being for their 40th anniversary. I really hope these Japanese companies push it a lot more. Capcom have been really good at doing that with their CPT stuff and their special events. So I just want to see more of it. I want to give them the benefit of doubt that they're trying, but guys, the games have almost over 25-year histories of now. Like, can we stop saying, well, we're slow to change? Well, start being quicker, please. Just start looking at what these other games are doing. That's my rant for the games. I just want the games to be I want it to be bigger what they are. Every time we have people from other genres watch fighting games, they know what's going on. It's a fight. The health bars is hype. They need to have something else to get people in. And it's not just by dumbing down the mechanics and go, it's easier. You touched on reversal edge. Is a casual going to be playing the game long term because of reversal edge? They want to see cool characters, content, lore. They want to see that. They don't give a crap about reversal edge and absorbing moves. Yeah,
it's definitely a balance that you have to strike between making your game beginner friendly but having enough depth once they've passed that barrier of entry to keep investing in the game and learning a character, learning the matchups of that character, learning the combos, the tech, very character-specific things. But, to a degree, I agree with you. I think there could be space for more mode implementation. I mean, like we have the slip out thing, which is a offline mode, so you have to use Parsec for that. It'd be great if they just implemented it online. A casual match where you can put on certain types of modifiers like slip out, double damage, higher launchers, wall bounces, just something to make it fun so that you don't have to go online and either do casual or ranked matches. And casual as in lobbies, like as in Tekken, where you can just queue up and fight against whoever, like a player match, for example. But I think also the limited resources that fighting games are being given is indicative of how niche they are. But now is the time for fighting games to be pushed into the spotlight. SoulCalibur, Tekken, and Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, all of them, they've always been popular in their circles, but now that esports has become a massive thing, and we're filling stadiums for all of these games, I think it's the perfect opportunity for Bamco, for Capcom, for NRS, for Arxis, to just really push fighting games into the forefront of the gaming communities. People might not be that invested in fighting games because they're a very specific type of game where you can't really transfer any other skill over to a fighting game. But now is the time. Invest in these games, invest in the genre, because getting sponsorships like Bud Light and Astro, like Bamco have done for both of their games, are major sponsorships, and it's not to be taken lightly. So I think, I'm going to say it again, now is the time to invest in fighting games and bring them to the forefront of the gaming community. And just as a little add-on to that, I'm kind of excited to see what is going to happen in this next gen of, Xbox Series X and PS5. If we're going to be seeing new games coming out specifically from new developers, it's like more specifically fighting games, or if we're just going to see more sequels like Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, SoulCalibur 7. I'd love to see both. I'd love to see a new company, or maybe a current fighting game company, come out with a new IP for next gen.
There's that Riot fighting game as well that might shake up the scene because it's a fighting game, but Riot, that might be something that makes these other developers kind of take note, or not even take note, work together. Like you said, I'm excited for this new generation. In about 3 or 4 years' time, the fighting games are never really out day one, but we'll start to see them coming onto the consoles, slowly.
Definitely. Right, getting into our next game now. Raziel versus Arpeggiator. Voldo versus Amy. A very, relatively long-range, neutral-heavy, plus on-block horizontal mid character versus, Amy.
Amy
versus Raid Boss.
This whiff into GI, this 2-2B into GI. Just really strong move there.
Oh. You gotta love those AGIs, eh? Right, Pej hitting him with one rose for now. Nice, hits him with the lethal here.
Nice, Wookie. Just after a little initial flurry from Amy, all Raziel.
Raziel bringing it back. Yeah, literally just saying, okay, you want to start pressing these buttons? I'm gonna engage Voldo mode.
Excellent defense and space in there from Raziel.
Oh, good 2-2B. What's Pej going to follow up with? Working towards those red roses. Good soul charge by Raziel. Oh, nice.
Oh, I tried to sidestep, but just got caught. Jumping in.
Yeah, 9B is a weird hitbox. Nice, good AA.
Up.
Gonna get reversal edged. Pej sitting at almost a bar and a half in round 3.
Good use of reversal edge to stop any mix-ups from running in the slide and any other mid.
Nice, Raziel on the hardcore offensive here, but another 2-2B.
One more and 4 red roses into red rose perception.
Oh, get lethal hit. Drop kick. And there's another one. That is such a cheeky move that Voldo has. It's almost unseeable. And also, Voldo's really only use it when you're at the ring edge because, of course, it's a ring out on normal hit. But doing it in like middle of the screen, that's what a true Voldo main does.
The drill. Push him towards the edge. Right, this is going to blow him back a little bit.
Damn, hitting him with that whole four.
Does not want to deal with any of this. Again! He ended in the same move all 3 rounds.
3 rounds in a row. Raziel, you absolute mad lad. Right, moving right back into our second game. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, if anybody gets, this is a personal thing, if anybody gets 3 rounds worth of ring outs, and they win, I will put a tenner in the Matcherino. I forgot to mention that at the start of the stream, but yes, if somebody gets 3 ring outs to end the game, I will put a tenner into that Matcherino.
Does it have to be 3 rounds all in a row, or can it be they just won with 3 rounds with that?
Yeah, it could be they just won with 3 rounds, yeah.
Okay. All right, nice one, guys. Extra incentive there. Get more money into the prize pot. Go for them ring outs.
Okay, seeing some Calibur right now. So Churchy, if you can just select one of these players and kick them out of the lobby so we can get them back in and get them fighting again. That's it, remove player, and then just kick one of them. And then we'll get them back in. But let's have a look at that Matcherino right now. We are currently at $93.37. Don't forget, in the chat, we have a command, !Matcherino. If you go to the site that it takes you to, you will be able to put in the code TNTSWO1 for a free 50 cents to the prize pot. Can we get to $100 before we end this tournament?
Yes, I think we can. Definitely, guys. All the SoulCalibur streams have always matched those little milestones we've set for them. I think we can do it. I imagine we still got some of that code. I don't think it's been all used, but keep adding to that prize pot. If you've got any spare time, just quick, 50 cents, easy. We can get to $100 by the end of the stream.
We can indeed. And a very quick reminder once again before we get into this fight, we have Iron Pride, November 22nd, a Tekken tournament for Christmas. Make sure you sign up for that once those sign-ups go live, if they already are live. And also on November the 28th, we have the European Online SoulCalibur Challenge for EU East. And I absolutely cannot wait.
Right, we're on the desert stage. Ring outs, potential galore.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we could be seeing some. I'm more inclined to believe that Amy's going to 2-2-B somebody out of the arena because that move is just insane.
Yeah.
But, we'll see. Raziel's really good at controlling space. Nice, good grab. Oh, there's a 2-2-B. Are we going to see a ring out?
Red. Oh, that's cheeky. Cancel, don't do the low, and then just go into a lower anyway. Good work there from Appreciator.
Arguably one of the best lows in the game too. Completely unseeable. When you're in Red Rose Perception, it's an NC. But then of course, if you are able to block it, you get pretty good rewards. -18, -20, I believe. Pretty damn
I'm glad
good.
they nerfed it a little bit because it's still super strong. Oh my god.
Yeah. Damn, Raziel just going ragger right now.
No, that's what's happening. He's been kind of getting steamrolled a little bit of the rounds, but he's always finding a way to come back. Damn, deal with it. Get away. Oi! Gets it with punish. Lethal hit. Oh, stabs her up.
Follow up. Oh, he wants it. Good step by Pedge. Oh, great whiff punish though. Not going to be able to get a ring out just yet. Pedge sitting on 2 bars here with 4 red roses. Wonder if he's ever going to try and go for maybe Soul Charge or a CE whiff punish. But right now, he's doing pretty well. Not going to need it.
That should be whiff punish. Yeah, good work.
Boom, boom. Not quite dead yet. Nicely done. Mid on the wake up. Raziel 1 round away from taking this game.
For such a short range weapon, her 2-2-B does cover a lot of distance, and it does kind of hinder some Amy's that rely on it a bit too much. Nice, good spike down.
Good soul charge by Pedge. There we go. Definitely doesn't want to be put in a situation where he's got no bar left.
Oh my god, just dancing with the each other and
okay. Nice. 2-2-B. Are we gonna get a Gonna go for soul charge extensions. Nice.
Oh, that dance into that distance cover. GI, yeah.
Oh, this might be dead. There it is. Raziel takes it 3 rounds to 1. Just over 15 seconds into the round. Very well done, but that's only gonna. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
Pej losing 2-0 to Raziel. Very well done, but they're not out yet. We want to check the bracket very, very quickly. That'll be Raziel moving on to fight Andy Roo, as Andy Roo has beaten Zolith 2-1. We still have to see Horseface versus Mydros in winners' quarters, and Habaduba versus Silas. So Haba taking Loz out 2-0, and Silas taking Blade out 2-0, putting them down into that losers bracket. So we're going to have a spicy, spicy top 16 right now.
Nice. I want to sort of give attention as well to Phantasm. He is the leader behind like a lot of the European online SoulCalibur tournaments and team tournaments and different formats for SoulCalibur team, which is great. As well as that, I mentioned having this standard double elim tournament monthly. He's been the one to kind of push loads of different formats and experimentation with feedback. But we've seen him been doing pretty well, and there you go. He's just taken over 2-1 over Denton, and he's going to be facing Baddie in winners' quarters finals. He's been having some really good results, as well as being a tournament organizer. So good shout out to Phantasm with his Song Mina, character that everyone loves.
Everybody loves Song Mina, yeah, for sure. But no, look, it's absolutely not to take away from Phantasm at all, because while he does play Mina, an incredibly good character, somebody that has so many tools at every single range, he's doing really, really well, taking out some very good competitors. So hopefully we'll be able to see him continue in this bracket. But even if he doesn't, I'm sure he'll be back for more tournaments soon. Absolutely positive of that.
That is right. Excellent, good matches going on so far. Still got that match arena building, guys. We're on our way to 100. I was wondering if Ren was going to do that. Ren, you know, you didn't have the 69 cents, but you've got it now. So we've got $93.69. Always can count on Ren for that unique number there.
That's what we love to see. .69. Let's go. So we've got Fotten versus Mydros. It's going to be a Astaroth versus, I believe, Mydros has an Ivy.
Yes, he is Ivy. I played him actually in one of the last tournaments. Really solid Ivy player. I think he's from. Is he from Croatia or Serbia? Sorry if I get that wrong, but yeah, he's another just an international player. Good representation from all across the EU.
I think this is what we're trying to achieve with this monthly, is that while people want to fight in tournaments with people who are very close to them, we do have some Russians in here. We have got people who are opposite ends of the world, and that's what we want. We want people to come together and participate in a tournament every month and to see each other grow as a community.
Yeah.
Nice, good jump over. Oh, actually goes for a UB into a cancel. Oh, gets caught trying to press a button. There we go. Astaroth is just he's just a big old weapon.
Wall hit, nice. Right.
Heavy scaling, but that's going to be a nice pickup from Mydros. Yes.
Legs. Oh no, he just gets whipped.
Very nice. 668 hold. Mydros looking to be a bit ropey in the beginning, but managing to bring it back in the end of that first round.
Oh, you got grabbed. I'm the grappler here.
Exactly. Ivy best grappler. Also struggling here. Oh, beautiful whiff punish. Is this going to kill straight up? Yeah,
Snipes
it will.
with a perfect as well.
Very much so. Once again, Horsey moving a bit too much. Going to have to contain that movement.
This matchup could be seen quite difficult for Astaroth. Nice start.
Fotten trying to out-mind game the Ivy. No way. Good 6B. Nice.
All the way back.
Mydros just dominating this right now. Hit them just frames.
Oh,
Bad idea. If it's not a counter hit, that's not going to work. You can duck the second hit into a follow-up. And Mydros, understanding that situation perfectly, managing to take it a 3-round, just a clean sweep over Fountain. But it's not over yet. We have a second game to go.
Mydros really controlled every single range. He always pushed him out, so he had to come in. And then when he was out of range, as opposed to, all right, I can sit there. You know, we know Ivy's got long range. Just get sniped from range, gets picked up. He controlled every sort of realm there. So it was kind of Fountain wasn't able to start his game plan at all. So I think he might have to try and slow it down because those very explosive exchanges were kind of going in his favor, whether it's short range, mid, and actually at that far range as well.
Yeah, that's something that Fountain does like to do. Move around a lot, especially with that massive body of his, because if he's at a certain range, he just loves to try and mind game you. But right now, Mydros, like you say, is dominating every single range. Close range, he's hitting him with them command grabs. Long range, he's got that 6-6 AA hold. He's just picking up with that. But that's a beautiful jump over by... Okay.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
Counter to a counter to a counter right there.
Scooped. Oh, he ducked, but he just didn't commit.
Hitting him with the cancels.
Submit!
Fountain's just getting mixed up like a mad lad here.
Oh, his big deltoids catching her. Hades control.
Trying to hit him with the CE, but that's only an AGI for a vertical. Holycart believes that CE is completely useless now. Do you agree in the chat? Let us know.
Oh no, a bit too slow.
That was a great bait. That damage. And there's a 50-50.
Jesus!
I guess technically just a mix-up. Astaroth there, Fountain saving himself for being perfected in round 2.
Right, pushing towards the ring edge, but sorry, wall edge. That's going to be it for Mydros.
That was a great sidestep into a launch.
Oh,
Okay,
again!
See what I mean? Once again, trying to control the movement and trying to hard read, but that's just what Mydros does best, especially as an Ivy.
All right.
Oh, beefy, look at that damage! 2 moves!
I like the option, jump into throw, but it didn't work out. Mydros still controlling everything. Okay, hop read into the jump. He's got soul charge.
Super hop kick. That's gonna
Nice.
hit. And there we go. Good counter hit confirmed by Horseface. One more round and he's evening up the score with Mydros.
Well, no
Both sitting
attempts.
at 2 bars now as well. Good duck.
Oh, just through the afro.
Still tech crouching at that point, so no lethal hit. To be fair, oh, great pickup. Ivy's 2-2-A is one of the most disgusting moves in the game. It's like you whiff punish anything and here's a lethal hit.
Honestly, just the way she just teleports behind you, yeah, your head's just getting clapped off, man.
Nice, good 2-2-A. Both of them sitting at 2 bars. Not much bar usage going on this entire game. Kind of waiting to see a CE. Or, I mean, look, Horseface is going to have to do something drastic. There we go. Soul Charge. Oh, no. And that's dead.
Wow.
Mydros taking a perfect over Horseface to make it 2 games to nada.
That's probably one of the most solid performances we've had on stream. Just the cancel into the while rising K, put him at a perfect distance, and then did the throw. And it was just beautiful creativity of knowing when he was going to end up on hit, controlling the space. He was getting the lethal hits, just all that, just the max mid range. Mydros a super strong player and just really controlled Horseface in every single scenario. So yeah, super strong. They're definitely going to be one to watch in this tournament.
Yeah, well, that is actually that's a mix-up. I guess technically a 50-50 because while the animations are very similar, they're hard to distinguish on the fly, especially in a tournament. So Ivy can either do the mid or the low, which is the grab. If you try and duck because you think she's going to do the grab, the lethal hit condition is on a crouching opponent. So, you know, the incentive is instead of just trying to guess, if you see it going for a ground thing, best thing to do is to try and step. But of course, in an environment where you've got so many things going through your head at the moment, you're 2 rounds down, you've hit Soul Charge, you're out of range. What do? You see a move, your brain computes, and it says try and duck because they're going to go for a grab. And unfortunately, Horseface lost that game and is now being put into that losers bracket. But before we get into the next game, a couple of things to let you know about. Firstly, Iron Pride Tekken Tournament on the 22nd of November. Additionally, EU SoulCalibur Online Challenge is going to be on the SoulCalibur official channel on the 28th of November. We're all hoping for an announcement. Matcherino, Matcherino in the chat will take you to our Matcherino page where you can input the free coupon code TNT SWO1, not a 0, SWO1, to add a free 50 cents to the prize pot.
Speaking of the prize pot, we've done it. $169.
Ooh, let's go.
Nashley with the $7 contribution out of his own pocket. Thank you so much for everyone donating and using the code. We've done it. $100.
We have indeed 101.19. Thank you to everybody who's been donating so far. Thank you to everybody who's been using the coupon codes, but we still have more for you to do. Enter that coupon code, give them just a little bit more to end that prize pot with as much money as possible. And also remember, we will be holding a vote either at the end of this stream or maybe a few hours later on Twitter or somewhere where you can vote for your favorite stream match, and the winner gets to participate in a 1st to 10, or I guess the winners will get to participate in a 1st to 10 with their own separate Matcherino. So let us know, keep watching the stream, write down some notes, and then vote when it is time to do so.
That's right, some really good matches so far. They had that interesting Astroth mirror. Astroth has always been kind of a candidate for these crazy matches. We had that one before with Brandstar as well, previously. So yeah, he's always in some of the most exciting matches just because of how he plays and just his mechanics as a character.
For sure. Just a very quick reminder as well that this is our final match before we get into our, I believe, top 8 on the winner's side, and we've got some loser's side matches to catch up on. So once this winner's side stream match is done, Habaduba versus Silas, we'll take a short 10-15 minute break, go get yourselves some drinks, go to the loo, get some food, and then we'll be back for more. Like I said, before we do that, we have one more stream match to get through, Habaduba versus Silas, Halmaru versus Raf. How do we think this is going to go, Dragon? Because Halmaru, not that highly rated from the community, but Haba has been making him look like a beast recently.
That's right. And it's a character that I feel just purely if it's like Raphael versus Habaduba, it's Raphael's being super strong anyway. It's going to be tough. Him using a character that not many people have used too much, and the only experience they have is versus kind of Habaduba, I guess, at this level. But the way he is able to use his mechanics, use everything, and his unorthodox style in terms of he's got the I don't remember the name of it, the SNK throw thing. He does the super GI grab. His mechanics are unique, and he can really start to snowball with using that warrior focus mix ups as well. Now, is Silas gonna be the first one to use Setsuka? I don't know how serious he has been using Setsuka. Will he use her in this tournament? Will he maybe use her first and then switch to Raphael? That's also what I'm unsure of. I would like to see some Halmara versus Setsuka, 2 of the most recent DLC characters used by 2 of the top EU players.
Mm-hmm. I think there's something to be said for Silas was excited for Setsuka to come out, but there's no reason to use her over Raphael, especially in a tournament environment, because Setsuka is good. She has some really good tools, but she requires so much more effort than Raphael does. But iPrep is a really hard execution barrier for a lot of people for Raphael, but he just has so many tools: Shadow Evade, QP, 4-6 A, B, and K lethal hits for whiff punishes, crazy carry, crazy wall damage. Just so many things that you could be classified as clinically insane for picking Setsuka over Raphael.
Clinically insane. Like, why would you do that? Honestly, that's kind of the thing about when I think EU players across even other games, I've noticed a bit more will stick to the characters they love and be more character special. And I feel the balance of SoulCalibur allows that a bit more, where the characters are balanced in some ways, and even though there's tiers and they're strong, I think the tiers are a bit more compact than other games. So you can still, we've seen players do excellent with people have written off Voldo as being super weak, and then we have Utoto and Raziel using those characters as a good level. Habaduba with Haomaru, even skill with Mitsurugi, even throughout the seasons, him having the strong tools, C and things like that, when it was I-12. But even actually putting pen to paper and using him in the tournament, no one else is really doing that apart from skill, showing that, yeah, it takes some work, but you put the time into a character, no matter who they are, you're going to get the reward because you've dedicated time to that with a game that's very deep in its mechanics, and it kind of rewards, I feel, the specialists. We haven't seen a lot of people, I'm going to switch to that as well. I'm going to switch to that. We've seen it. I'm not saying we haven't seen that, but we haven't seen it as much as what Tekken had with, I'm going to switch to fucking Leroy. We haven't had that so much throughout the history, and I hope it continues to stay like that.
Yeah, we've never had characters that crazy be employed in SoulCalibur 6, at least, which we're incredibly grateful for. We do have characters that could be classed as overpowered. Again, very much a personal opinion that you can have regarding a tier list. But, consensus, Amy, Raphael, Zas specifically in this patch. A couple of other characters who are just crazy, have got so many tools, but are also incredibly fun to watch as well. So we don't want those characters to go away. We just want them to be possibly toned down a little bit.
Yeah. You talk about then it's not... I don't mind losing. Honestly, I don't. But it's about, is it fun to play against this character, win or lose? And some characters are literally just, oh man, I'd rather fight anyone else but this one. It's that aspect for me as well, about the fun of playing this matchup, win or lose.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Raphael versus Haomaru, Habaduba versus Silas.
Silas not messing about, gone straight for their main, not messing with no Setsuka today.
I mean, look at all of this pressure. This is something that Haomaru is going to... slow down here. This is something that Haomaru is definitely going to struggle with. Raphael has some really good long-range tools and close-range tools, whereas Haomaru cannot brawl. He's not a brawler at all. He has to work around that range game. And, yeah, Silas just hitting him with a cheeky 6-6 BB.
First one goes to... Nice block on the low there, no strings. Oh, just hit out of the air.
Nice, good AA interruption, but there's a form dodge. Might be Habaduba out. That's what I mean. Raph has so many amazing tools.
He's just doing the flamenco while he's just out there dead. Like, I have to say, he's
dancing on it. He dancing.
Oh, tried to jump over it.
Haba is just getting pressured so much here. There we go. Good range advantage for Haba here. Hits him with a 50-50. 6-2-3-A. Nicely done. Doesn't counter hit. Confirm. This could cost him. Raphael is the king of comebacks. What are we going to see?
Nice block.
Nice. Wall rising K. Big up kick to the throat.
He's got a bit destroyed. Recovered some of it. Oh, just stiff. Stabbing his guts.
That's +4. Haba's going to hold down that reversal edge. Good call.
Ooh, opts for the dodge and just boots him in the face. That was beautiful. Just flicked him in his chin.
Oh my days. Get caught.
Heavy slash. Just screaming at you.
Nice one, A. Oh, beautiful to step into 2-2K. Ooh, that was beautiful.
That was Habaduba. He's showing like he's got the knowledge of his character. Oi!
Nice. Oh, catches him with the 6-6B. Raphael getting clipped.
Oh my god. Oh my Jesus. What?
That's going to scale pretty hard, but that entire sequence was just Silas getting destroyed.
Oh god. It keeps happening.
Nice.
Oh.
Beautiful 3A. Silas going for 4-4-A for some unknown reason, but very nicely done by Haber. That was disgusting. This is exactly what you were talking about. Haomaru, and especially being used by Haber, can steamroll you and snowball out of control, and that is exactly what we saw. Being dominated in the first 2 rounds to coming back 3-2, disgusting.
When we talk about his style, like he's not like a Mitsurugi character, clinical. He's a bit of the brawler samurai. He's a bit of a drunk, and then he just literally just like, I'm just gonna start. Just started cutting him into pieces just with his heavy slash, and wow, you know, forget the technique, he just cut him up.
Yeah, right, exactly. Unfortunately, we're seeing no Maxis in the tournament, you know, just unfortunately, but he does need some buffs, so, you know, he's going into hiding for a little bit, going to go training in the cave, just waiting for Okubo to bless him.
Almo is literally alcoholic.
Nice.
Bleed.
Nice, 6-6. Oh, good dodge!
Boy!
Okay, yo, Haber is on a mad one. Okay, look, I'm gonna vote for this for first to 10. I'm not even allowed to vote, I guess, and I'm calling this game. This is nuts.
He just sliced his clothes off from him. Silas, though, you can never count him out. Yeah. Oh, no, he's still in.
Oh, 4-4-A, good call, getting the counter hit. God, getting caught. Haber pressing too many buttons. He's getting a bit overzealous. Just calm down, Haber. Take your time. 6-6B. That's such a good move.
I forgot, actually. Haber used to main Raphael. Ugh, I completely forgot about that.
Oh, he's pressing too many buttons. He's trying to Giga Brain. Okay, jumps on jumps.
Nice clutch.
Nicely done. Hit him with the 4-4-B hold. Punch. Oh, he was ready for it. And there we go.
That was beautiful. Nice one. This match is sick. Silas up 2 rounds to 1.
Nice, good GI. Oh, getting hit out of reversal edge. Nice 4K. Haber going on the offensive. Good soul charge by Silas. Wants to get out of that pressure. There's those dreaded 50-50s from Haomaru.
Oh my, look at the movement, the steps and the ducks. Halberduba's just going insane. Can he take this win with 2 meters as well? Nice block. Kick. Oh, the distance.
Oh, shadow evade. This is going to be a good reversal edge.
Oh my god.
Silas tried to hit him, I think, with the form dodge, but just wasn't quick enough.
Simple. Nice.
Silas is just guessing wrong at all of these mix-ups.
Nice. What's the mix-up? He's got soul charge still.
It seems Silas just doesn't know what to do against this character. He's struggling greatly. Good roll rising K. Great I-12. There's a 50-50. All Haber needs to do. There we go. Beautiful whip punish with the 6-6B into CE. Absolutely disgusting by Haber. Ooh, that's nuts. Ooh.
That was clean. You see how instant that punish was? He was like, oh, Matrix, yeah, done. That
Haber
was slick.
taking out Silas 2 games to nothing. Are we seeing a decline from Silas in recent tournaments? I mean, look, no disrespect, but Silas has not been doing that well in tournaments so far. Like, the last couple of tournaments that he's been competing in, he's been taken out relatively early compared to how he was doing earlier on in the game's life cycle. We got this new breed of players coming through now where they're just dominating, and it's amazing to see.
Honestly, that's so true. And he's having an even harder run because he's dropping down to losers and he's playing against Mercy main. So there is not going to be any rest for Silas. So, whoa, that was excellent. Like we mentioned, guys, make it known. We want to see who you think should be a candidate for the first of 10. That was, you know, definitely up there. We're not even done yet. So, stick with us, guys. We We're going to have a quick break. Do not go anywhere. If all the matches coming up are like this, you do not want to leave your seat. But definitely go get some drink, do that matcherino, add some more money. Join us in about 15 minutes. We are still going to be here for the rest of SWO Soul Warrior Online.
Indeed. See you later.